This video addresses what grants are and why they are important to public service agencies. Grants in general are funding that comes from outside of an agency or organization's budget. This funding has a specific purpose, a specific timeline during which it can be used, and specific rules for using it. Like a good law enforcement officer, grants don't ask for compliance, they require it. An agency's reputation related to grants is built from the very first grant the agency receives. If a law enforcement agency develops a history of non-compliance, that record will stay with them at least for some time. That's why it's important to understand what your agency is getting into when applying for and accepting a grant. The rules are enforced and can change from year to year. Not following the rules can result in cancellation of a grant or continuing funding not being awarded. Now, with all that risk involved, you might be wondering why grants are even important to a public service agency or any agency that does work for the community, be it an institution of higher education or a community advocacy group. The full scope of that answer may vary from organization to organization, but the bottom line is most of these organizations lack the budget to do all of the work they deem to be important for the community and the population they serve. In the case of law enforcement, there simply may not be enough funds in the budget to provide all of the equipment required to keep officers safe on the job. Groups of all kinds may want to provide enhanced victim services, or a state or local government may encounter unbudgeted expenses due to a natural disaster or other issue. This is where grants become important. As you read through and explore the pages that follow in this module, you'll uncover all kinds of potential grant opportunities your agency could apply for. You'll start to see why grants are so important to all kinds of public service and public administration work. They fund equipment, special projects, victim services, and mitigation efforts. Grants often allow an agency to start new units or programs and to build upon the efforts they already have in place to make our community safer and more enjoyable to live in and to serve. There are different kinds of grants, and they vary in how much money an agency can apply for and how long an agency can take to expend the funds. The most common grants for public service agencies come from the various parts of the federal government or from the state government. There are some private foundations that fund public service and public administration activities, but those are fewer in number and not the focus of this class. There are also cash advance grants and reimbursement grants that come from either the state or the federal level. A cash advance grant is one where the agency sends you all or part of the awarded funds up front. In a reimbursement situation, you'll need to make requests from the funding agency to draw down your funds either quarterly or monthly. This should be handled by your accounting or finance department. In either case, there are reports that you'll need to submit that account for all the grant funds that are spent. This class aims to give you a background in what grants are, some basics on how to write them or how to support your grant writer, and how to manage grants. Understanding these concepts will help you better serve your agency and your community.